right, we're cutting live to Darbar Hall. This is in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. The Prime Minister has arrived there. The swearing-in ceremony for Venkaiah Naidu began at 10 a.m. this morning. And there, all the dignitaries, all the members of Parliament, all the foreign dignitaries who have arrived there, they have got up to meet the Prime Minister, to greet the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister has arrived there, and in a short while, Ramnath Kovind, the President of the country, will be administering the oath of office to Venkaiah Naidu, the 13th Vice President of India. Remember, there you have it. Venkaiah Naidu is also seen. Hamid Ansari, the outgoing Vice President, is also there. And this time, it was indeed a historic election in many ways. Venkaiah Naidu securing 67% of the votes. Now, this is the highest vote share in 30 years. He defeated his rival, Gopal Krishna Gandhi. This was a keenly watched election. We knew that there were barbs flying thick and fast between the opposition and the government, and the Congress made this election all about tolerance and all about secular values of the Constitution, saying that the constitutional offices of the President and Vice President were under siege. Venkaiah Naidu has won that election. Hamid Ansari, the outgoing VP, is also there. In fact, just earlier, Vice President Hamid Ansari had said that there is a sense of insecurity among minorities and Muslims in the country. Now, that was strongly rebutted by Venkaiah Naidu, who's all set to become the Vice President of the country. And he said that remarks were unfortunate, and this is nothing but political propaganda, and minorities are much safer in India than anywhere else in the world. And there is a sense of mutual respect among various communities in India. That is what Venkaiah Naidu had said. We're getting you pictures of that ceremony from the Grand Darbar Hall in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. In attendance, all top cabinet ministers. You can see the Prime Minister right in the center, and next to him is BJP President Amit Shah, who had a very important role to play when it came to the choice of President and Vice President of the country. And that is the man who is all set to take over as the 13th Vice President of India, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, who resigned from his cabinet portfolio a few weeks back. And soon after his victory, he had said that he was humbled and he would like to do justice to this responsibility that has been given to him by the government, by his party. And he will be playing a very important role. Remember, he will be in the Rajya Sabha. He will be there in the Rajya Sabha day in and day out. He will be chairing those important sessions, and whenever the government has business, wants to push through bills in the Rajya Sabha, he will play a very key role. Let me go across to Sakal Bhatt, who is joining us live from Parliament this morning. Sakal, take us through the proceedings in the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Venkaiah Naidu all set to be sworn in as the 13th Vice President of India.
Yes, absolutely, Parikshit. Good morning. And this is going to take place at around 10:30, we've been told, as far as his swearing-in is considered. Although he and along with his wife, Srimati Usha Naidu, will be, in fact, they would be going to Parliament premises at around 10. And I think that's what we are looking at right now. And there are a series of felicitation functions organized in Rajya Sabha 11 a.m. onwards. Having said that, well, we know that, Parikshit, you have also covered Parliament. Today happens to be the concluding day of the 19-day monsoon session of the Parliament. And Venkaiah Naidu's first day in office, swearing in, then felicitation. There will be remarks made by other parliamentarians also for his taking over as the Vice President of the country. That's going to basically take over as a major crux of today's is concerned. But I'm also picking up from some sources that there could be a possibility that there could be a sort of adjournment on furor or quorum on the floor of the House as far as those statements passed by the former outgoing Vice President Hamid Ansari is considered. Remember, there was in fact a lot of furor on the floor of the House yesterday. We'll have to really see how is this really pans out today, whether that would be taken up once again by some of the parties, irrespective of the party lines, because we know that opposition spearheaded by Congress in this entire session has induced repeated disruptions on the floor of the House, Parikshit, resulting in very, very slow legislative activity. In fact, there were 25 bills to be slated as a legislative agenda, out of which only 9 could be past. But today, of course, the focus totally shifts to Venkaiah Naidu, who will be taking over its first day in the office. He'll be taking charge as the second BJP's Vice President post-bearer of Singh Shekhawat. And like you rightly mentioned, as far as his being there in Rajya Sabha is considered, we know that the NDA doesn't have really numbers to talk about. So this is also seen as many political pundits look at it in a way that is going to really consolidate government's position in Rajya Sabha. And
तदनुसार शक संवत 1939 के श्रावण मास के 19वें दिन होनी है और यतः भारत के उपराष्ट्रपति के पद को भरने के लिए संविधान तथा राष्ट्रपतीय और उपराष्ट्रपतीय निर्वाचन अधिनियम 1952 के प्रावधानों और तदीन बनाए गए नियमों और आदेशों के उपबंधों के अनुसार निर्वाचन करा लिया गया है तथा इसका परिणाम घोषित कर दिया गया है। अब भारत निर्वाचन आयोग ये प्रमाणित करता है कि वर्ष 2017 के अगस्त मास के 5वें दिन तदनुसार शक संवत 1939 के श्रावण मास के 14वें दिन को श्री वेंकैया नायडू एम भारत के उपराष्ट्रपति पद के लिए विधिवत रूप से निर्वाचित हो गए हैं। भारत गणराज्य के 68वें वर्ष में हमारे हस्ताक्षर और भारत निर्वाचन आयोग की मोहर से आज वर्ष 2017 के अगस्त मास के 5वें दिन तदनुसार शक संवत 1939 के श्रावण मास के 14वें दिन को जारी किया गया।
मैं एम वेंकैया नायडू ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा तथा जिस पद को मैं ग्रहण करने वाला हूं उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
आप देख सकते हैं वेंकैया नायडू जी हस्ताक्षर करते हुए और बाकायदा देश के 13वें उपराष्ट्रपति के तौर पर उन्होंने शपथ ग्रहण कर ली है। अभिनंदन करते हुए राष्ट्रपति रामनाथ कोविंद बधाई देते हुए वेंकैया नायडू जी को देश के 13वें उपराष्ट्रपति पद पर पहुंचने पर, शपथ ग्रहण करने पर। और आप देख सकते हैं तमाम गणमान्य व्यक्ति इस शपथ ग्रहण समारोह में शरीक हुए हैं, सम्मिलित हुए हैं। हम बता दें कि 11 उपराष्ट्रपतियों में से 6 बाद में जी, आपने देखा वेंकैया नायडू जी ने देश के 13वें उपराष्ट्रपति पद की शपथ ग्रहण कर ली है। राष्ट्रपति रामनाथ कोविंद ने उनको शपथ ग्रहण करवाई और बाकायदा अब देश के 13वें उपराष्ट्रपति हो गए हैं वेंकैया नायडू जी। जी हाँ, यूं तो
All right, so that is Venkaiah Naidu. He has been sworn in as the 13th Vice President of the country. Just a minute back, he was administered the oath of office by Ramnath Kovind, the President of the country, and there he is being escorted by the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. You can see that glittering ceremony in the Grand Darbar Hall at the Rashtrapati Bhavan. These are live pictures coming in, and the oath-taking ceremony has just got over, and in a short while, Venkaiah Naidu will be heading to Parliament. Remember, he's somebody who has been a parliamentarian for many years. He's handled various portfolios under Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and under Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he held the Parliamentary Affairs portfolio, the Urban Development Ministry, the INB portfolio as well. He's someone who's had very open relations with the media. He was somebody who was always open to giving sound bites. And will he be a more vocal Vice President? We have seen the President and Vice President of India only speaking during official functions, not speaking on a day-to-day basis. But just yesterday, we had seen that Hamid Ansari, the outgoing Vice President, had given an interview where he said that there was a sense of unease and insecurity among minorities in the country. And that was countered by Venkaiah Naidu. He said that minorities are safest in India, and the statements are nothing but political propaganda. Let me go across to Sakal at this point. Sakal, he will have a tough job at hand. Congress has been making things tough for the government over the last 3 years. All of that is going to continue. Tell us how his first day is going to be in Parliament.
Well, his articulation and the way that he has conducted himself, not as a politician who has spearheaded various important positions in the BJP, but also in the capacity of the Union Minister, whether it was Urban Development Ministry or, for that matter, Parikshit as the INB Minister. He's known as very disciplined, extremely outgoing, extremely articulate, and he has that sense of outreach, cutting across party lines, because that's the kind of respect Venkaiah Naidu has always commanded. And also, if you remember, the moment those vice presidential elections results were out and he defeated Gopal Krishna Gandhi by huge margin, his first comments were, his first reaction perhaps was that he will make it sure that he does full justice to his job without taking any sides in favor. And even before taking over as the 13th Vice President, we saw a glimpse of that, Parikshit, yesterday, when he countered, in fact, in very, very strong terms, those words coming out when Mohammad Hamid Ansari said, you also mentioned about it, that there is a sense of certain unease as minorities or perhaps Muslims in India are concerned. And Venkaiah Naidu said that, well, he's more than welcome to follow this core thinking, but once he demits the office. So yes, today, like I said, he has already taken over as the 13th Vice President, perhaps consolidating government's position in Rajya Sabha also in terms of numbers, in terms of the way he has conducted himself as a politician. There are a lot of expectations from him, because as the capacity of the Vice President and also his positioning in Rajya Sabha, the most crucial legislative business would easily sail through. But today, yes, major chunk will be devoted to I told you like earlier that there are going to be some felicitation functions organized in his honor. But we'll have to see, today being the last day of the concluding session of Parliament, whether or not there will be any legislative business transacting on the floor of the House. It's going to be Venkaiah Naidu, the 13th Vice President, the day devoted to him.